On the pitching mound, Roy Halladay exuded the irritated frustration of a master craftsman never quite satisfied with his own work. A fierce will to succeed made him a glowering presence on the baseball diamond. He stood 6'6" and weighed 225 pounds, a pitcher dominating both in stature and execution. His favorite weapon in a four-pitch repertoire was a crisp, sinking fastball. He also threw a fall-off-the-table curveball, which left many batters swinging foolishly at air. The broadcaster Tom Cheek nicknamed him Doc after the Wild West gunslinger Doc Halladay, a fitting moniker for a fireballer who had 5 seasons in which he struck out more than 200 batters. Story continues below advertisement. Mr. Halladay, who died at 40 in the crash of a recreational plane he was piloting along the Florida coast, was one of the best pitchers of his generation. He becomes eligible for induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame at Cooperstown, NY, in 2019, 5 full seasons after his retirement as a player. On the field, he showed a poker face of grim determination. Off the field, he was a kindly, smiling, likable figure. The right-hander spent a dozen seasons in Toronto with the Blue Jays, becoming a fan favorite both for his skill as a hurler and his generosity as a philanthropist. He and his wife ran a program called Doc's Box in which children suffering from chronic and fatal illnesses got a brief respite from their travails by being treated like royalty in private seats at the Rogers Center. The couple also donated $100,000 annually to the team's Jays Care Foundation for disadvantaged children and youth. A workhorse considered a throwback to the days when starting pitchers expected to finish a game, Mr. Halladay won the Cy Young Award as the top pitcher in both the American League, with the Blue Jays in 2003, and the National League, with the Philadelphia Phillies in 2010. It was with the Phillies that he pitched a perfect game. No opposing players reached base against the Florida Marlins on May 29, 2010. Later that same season, he threw a no-hitter in the first game of the National League Division Series against the Cincinnati Reds, only the second no-hitter in all of baseball's postseason play. Mr. Halladay spent countless hours in training to stay in shape and to improve his game. His dedication to conditioning was such that he arrived at the Rogers Center each day of a home game at dawn, so early he needed to be given a card of his own to enter the building. A loss of control and confidence early in his stint with the Blue Jays could have rendered him a journeyman footnote to baseball history had his stubborn nature not driven a comeback that resuscitated his career. Harry Leroy Halladay III was born in Denver on May 14, 1977. He was the middle child and only son of 3 children born to Linda Jean, N.E. King, and Harry Leroy Halladay Jr., a corporate pilot. As a boy in suburban Aurora, Roy threw baseballs into a mattress placed against a wall. When the family looked for a new home in Arvada, a suburban city northwest of Denver, they sought one with a basement at least 60 feet, 6 inches long, the distance from the pitching mound to home plate. Once they found a suitable residence, a pitching machine and batting cage were installed.